Welcome to our Memphis Open Series preview. I'm Glenn Jones, and I'm just here to talk to you about the Memphis Open weekend we're throwing. It's going to be at the Memphis Convention Center on 255 Main Street. We've got a Standard Open starting at 10 a.m. on Saturday, a Legacy Open starting at 10 a.m. on Sunday. We've got side events on both days with a Modern Challenge and a Two-Headed Giant Challenge on Saturday, and then the Draft Opens on Sunday, which will start at 9 a.m., and then the second one will be after round 4 of the Legacy Open, which is about 2:30 p.m. If you want food while you're at the event, you're going to have to go probably south into downtown for actual selections. There's not much north and not much nearby, so if you need food between rounds, watch out for that. If you're showing up and wanting to get some cards altered, we've got a few alters coming in. We've had some cancellations, but we still have Mike Fairservice, who does excellent 3D alters, and we have Megan Michelle, who does more of the painting, art extension, that kind of thing. If you can't make it to the event, we're going to be running SCG Live as usual. Our commentators will be Adrian Sullivan and Ari Lax, and the hashtag on Twitter for the weekend will be SCGMEM, SCGMEM. Tune into Twitter, find out what's going on, get in the conversation, and we'll see you this weekend. Up next, I've got Brad Nelson. We're just going to talk a little about Standard with GP Baltimore and our own Memphis Open Series on the way. I'm here with Brad Nelson, who you might remember as a Charlotte commentator. He's not going to be in Memphis this weekend. He'll be in Baltimore playing in the Grand Prix, so we're going to talk about the Standard format. We've had two very different Standard finals in the past two tournaments. We had Ramp Mirrors at Honolulu, and then we had the Mono Red versus Black Blue Zombies in Charlotte. What do you expect is going to perform in Memphis?
I think Blue Black's going to be one of the bigger decks coming out from now.
Okay.
We had Wolf Run Ramp take over the format when the Geist Run Delver decks were running around. And because of the new Delver version that Sam Blackjarian and that team ended up producing, this format's really wide open for Blue Black to take over. People are going to have to bring back their Geist, I think. That's important because people are understanding how to beat these new Esper Delver decks. And Mono Red might have a chance. Mono Red did do well at the last Open, and I don't know if I liked his list, but I definitely liked the archetype.
Okay.
If you understand where the format's going, I think those two decks are going to be very good for this next.
So that's interesting. You've got a very controlling deck and a pretty hyper-aggressive one on two poles that you both think might go well.
This format's not really about innovation. It's more about metagame calls, and I think both those decks can fill a gap that the format's missing at the moment.
Okay, excellent. We've got a Grand Prix and an Open Series this weekend in Baltimore and Memphis. Do you think that there will be two different metagames at these tournaments?
I don't really know. I would have said 6 months ago that there's going to be a completely different metagame, but I was really impressed out in Charlotte with the innovation from the last Open. Okay. There's a lot of players that took the information that they had from Hawaii and really capitalized on the format. You saw the Esper Delver deck dominate the Pro Tour, and then the next week there was just all this hate for the deck.
Yeah.
Todd Anderson made it to top 4 with his play skill, but he just got dominated by all the anti-Delver cards. So I really think that both are going to show a couple new cards, but I don't know what they're going to be yet. And I definitely think we're going to see some innovation from both tournaments.
Excellent. Speaking of innovation, I guess, do you think that there's a sideboard card people might be overlooking for either of these events?
I don't know if they're overlooking it yet, but Corrosive Gale has just been an amazing card that I've seen so far. I didn't even think about it. Todd thought it was the secret tech when he showed it to me in round 1 at the tournament, and then all of a sudden everyone had it.
Yep.
I mean, that deck just didn't go anywhere because of that card. So I think that is going to be in sideboards. The real question is if it's going to be utilized, because all the Delver decks should probably be going back to Swords. They should be putting Porcelain Legionnaires in the deck, and they should be playing the Geist. Geist of St. Traft, I think, is going to be the card you want to be playing if you're playing Delver's Secrets, because of all the hate and all the openings. Blue-Black Control is going to become a better deck, but who knows if they're going to have the answers that they need to beat Geist and not all the other cards that the Esper Delver has.
Sure.
So I think Corrosive Gale is going to be the card that should be played, but I don't even know if it's going to be effective or not.
Yeah. You know, it's funny you say that. Geist and Porcelain Legionnaire over Drog Skull Captain and the like were actually in Joe Keaveney. I believe he top 16 Charlotte, and that was his exact list was cutting those elements for those cards.
Yeah, I mean, that was the older list, and the thing about Standard right now is it's not about trying to find the tech cards, it's about trying to find where the metagame actually is. The metagame's going to be shifting a lot. There's so many cards, there's so many powerful strategies. You just have to figure out who's playing what, and what do you need to bring to win the tournament.
All right, you're known for doing a lot of your work on Magic Online. We've got 2 big standard events on the horizon. What do you think is the best way to prepare for those using Magic Online?
All right. I think the best tournaments on Magic Online for competitive play are gold tick queues. They're 10 ticks, and you win 5 booster packs. They're kind of high variance because Magic's high variance, and you could end up losing your bankroll really quick on those. And then the second best is the daily events where you can like rebound from some losses because you get the rounds. And those are the best places to play just for getting to play serious Magic and trying out your strategies. If you're playing some brew or a Splinter Fright deck or something you want to just try out, I would say the 2-mans are the best. I wouldn't touch the constructed testing rooms. Those are just real bad. But I would definitely play the 2-tick queues with that or the 8-mans. And then when you're playing a serious deck, I would end up playing dailies. And if you've been winning a lot, try the gold ticks. You're going to play some serious competitors, but you're going to know if your deck's good or not.
Awesome. What kind of a win rate do you need to break ahead on those?
On the gold ticks, you need to win about 2 out of 3. For every 10 tickets you invest, you end up getting back about 7 to 8.
Okay.
So it's not a terrible win rate. Like, I mean, I stay afloat. I mean, most of the time. But yeah, you need to win about 2 out of 3. And then in the dailies, I think if you 3-1 once, you can pay
off a few. Yeah.
Pay off a few. So it's definitely less variance with the amount of tickets you spend. But I think the information you get out of the gold ticks are way more important if you're about to play in a tournament.
Awesome. Well, thanks for joining us, Brad. And if you're heading to Memphis, I'll see you there. If not, enjoy SCG Live.